And we are back. We are back. Gonna talk some. We're gonna stay in college football. Okay, all right. I'm here for that. Staying in college football. Gonna talk about Tennessee and Virginia. Tennessee and Virginia. They filed an antitrust suit against the NCAA over NIL recruiting ban. Now, Yahoo Sports, Liz Rocher covered this story. The attorneys general for Tennessee and Virginia filed suit against the NCAA Wednesday, alleging that the organization's ruling controlling name, image, and likeness rights for college athletes violates federal antitrust laws by preventing those college athletes from earning full compensation for their own name, image, and likeness. And this is such a, how I feel, it's not a nothing burger. So let's start there, okay? But we covered on this program, we covered the Florida State decision where Florida State basically was on a shakedown because Rising Spear was the name of their NIL pact or whatever, that they got the violation. So they couldn't have any contact with the school, but they could still negotiate directly with the athletes. So it's kind of like, really, what was this all about? But then you found out that as a penalty, the school had to give the NCAA, I think 1 or 2% of their athletic budget. And the violations didn't seem like it was bothering anybody. They wasn't really serious allegations, or it didn't even have serious consequences. So it basically read like a shakedown. And so here you have another situation where Tennessee and Virginia, the attorney generals, have teamed up to actually sue the NCAA. And we'll get deeper into that when we come back from a quick 20 from another unofficial sponsor of the show. Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness. Visit the good folks down at your local Planet Fitness. Download the app. It's a judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness is big fitness energy. Okay, so back to this story. So the Tennessee Attorney General, Jonathan Scarnetti, he told the Knox News, "We sued to protect the rights of current and future Tennessee student athletes from Memphis to Mountain City, from Union City to Unicoi County, from Covington to Cleveland, and everywhere in between." The suit is 20 pages long and states Tennessee's law prevents athletic associations, including the NCAA, from interfering with a college athlete's ability to earn NIL compensation that otherwise complies with the Tennessee law. And I guess this is the slippery slope a lot of people were afraid of when you start paying college players. Where do the lines get blurred? Because when you look at the landscape, and I guess they should have had ample time to figure this out. If you started paying guys above head in the 90s, we could have had a grasp on this situation right now. As is, we covered stories, and I had to ask, how much money is floating around college athletics? When you had Mr. Shannon Jr. in Illinois, he was accused of sexual misconduct, and that guy's got 4 attorneys, and they filed an injunction against the school and won. And then you have a situation where there's the kid in Memphis who he was actually dismissed. He wasn't dismissed from the team, but they didn't have him on campus. He was taking classes online, and him and Anthony Hardaway, even he was supporting the kid, but he had a gun charge in LA where he had shot at some guest or whatever, shot at the car as they was leaving from his $1.9 million home. Yeah. A 19-year-old has a mortgage on a $1.9 million home. And so when you see these things and then you ask, hey, what's going on with that? What's going on with that? And these are fair questions. It's not anything below the belt. Not anything below the belt at all. The AGs are seeking an injunction that would temporarily suspend the NCAA's NIL rules. The suit was filed just one day after it was reported that the NCAA's investigation into the University of Tennessee for potential NIL related recruitment and violations. Per NCAA rules, the schools are not allowed to use NIL money to recruit prospective students. And the Division I Council is currently considering a new rule that would bar an NIL collective from negotiating, communicating, or providing benefits to recruits or transfers until after they have signed a letter of intent, enrolled at the school, or participated with the team. So you can see from that right there that this is really the Wild West, where you have collectives now to entice recruits. They're spending large sums of money. And now that it's legal to go ahead and put it all out there in the streets, I mean, some people have more money than the law allows, and it's really letting the boosters pick what kind of kids are going to show up to the program and who's on the wish list and who can be bought and who can be installed at the university. And so I think the amateur athletics, you can kind of throw that out the window, because this is about high stakes poker playing. You know, if Alabama wants a kid and little bitty state tech, whatever, is looking at this kid and Alabama's got more money than the law allows, then, hey, look, to the victor goes the spoils. You want the kid, you got to pay. And that's what kind of landscape we're in. But we'll take another quick 20, and then we'll come back and kind of land this plane. This is Big Vern for App Stupid. Yes, VT Insurance Solutions. More choice, better rates, better service. If you're in the tri-state area, contact VT Insurance Solutions for your home, auto, and life needs. 812-725-0068. That's 812-725-0068. All right. So you can see quickly that this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand, where you have collectives in NIL now being an official recruiting arm of a university. And we're there now in college athletics. So vague and contradictory NCAA memo emails and guidance about name, image, and likeness are created extraordinary chaos that student athletes and institutions are struggling to navigate. Now, this comes from the Utah Chancellor, Donde Plowman. And this is what he said Monday in regards to the NCAA in an email to deny them that the school broke any rules. In short, the NCAA is failing. And it is. And it is. And I mean, as long as I can recall, going back to the mid to late 80s and 90s and watching college athletics and even being around college facilities, it just seemed like the NCAA has failed the athletes for so many years. And this right now, this account isn't one of those things where you can say, oh, well, I guess after all these years, the NCAA, no, it's been failing them. You had guys being demonized like Shabazz Napier from UConn when he won the national championship, and he was telling people on the biggest stage, hey, there's some nights I had to go to sleep hungry because of my scholarship, and the way that it's set up is that I don't get to eat because if I took an extra meal, I'm in violation of the NCAA rules. Yet, UConn as a school made millions in TV deals and airtime and sponsorships, all on that kid's back. Chris Webber recalls a story where he's walking down the street with a Michigan reporter, and they stop at Foot Locker and they see his jersey in the window being sold for $90. And him having to ask a reporter, can he get something to eat? Because he doesn't make any money off the sales of that jersey, which is his likeness and his image because it had his playing number on there. The NCAA is always failing the athletes, and they was always able to get around using the whole amateur athletics. But now when you have to pay these athletes because they're spending more time at the university than the coaches in the faculty on a weekly basis, just in practice, film study, weight room. They knew this was coming. And had they went ahead and instituted it earlier, I think they would have had a better handle on it right now than what they have. Because if you read these stories, this is all really coming, it's looking like a shakedown. Every case you read, where the fines and the penalties are very minimal, yet the consequences seem cartoonish and buffoonish at best. The NCAA's legal department is pretty busy these days. They are fighting wars on multiple fronts, and every suit challenges the extreme control of NCAA exercises on its athletes and member schools. The kids feel like that they're being manipulated to where you can't make any money, yet the coaches make record $1 million contracts and even have bigger buyouts. The school makes millions with TV deals, conference deals, and it's all at their expense. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll keep on following it. We'll be back with more stories. This is Big Vern. I said Burn. This is Big Vern from App Stupid. We'll be right back.